Colorado Springs, like every city, has some really crazy hidden facts that you honestly wouldn't expect unless you live here or do a deep dive into the area. Today we're going to go over the top 5 craziest facts about Colorado Springs that you would 100% not expect. My name is Ben, and in this channel we make videos about what it's like to live and move to the Colorado Springs area. Having grown up in the area and then moved away and come back, I've gained a lot of experience on just some of the intricacies of the area. Also, we are a team of realtors and would love to earn your business, so if you are getting any value out of these videos, I'd love to hear from you, but honestly, just love talking about Colorado Springs. So give us a call or a text, we'd love to help. That being said, in today's video, I want to do something just a little bit different and go over some of the craziest facts I could find and based on my personal experience as well. And to be honest, even though I grew up here, I still didn't know some of these. So jumping straight into it, crazy fact number 1, Colorado Springs actually really boomed specifically because of some junk science. So although the discovery of gold in the area really spurred the first settlements within the Pikes Peak region, doctors in the 19th and 20th centuries believed that the fresh air, the sunlight, and like the high elevation helped with a bunch of different sicknesses. Specifically with tuberculosis, that was a big issue at the time. So Denver actually opened up a tuberculosis treatment center like 2 years after the founding of the city, which kind of just shows you how prominent the idea was. And then shortly after that, both Boulder and Colorado Springs opened up their own treatment facilities. So although the beliefs about the cures to tuberculosis weren't entirely medically sound, they were kind of right to a degree, where the fresh air does kind of help tuberculosis from spreading, and then the high altitude apparently helps with the spread of bacteria within the lungs, is what I understand. However, not a cure-all, obviously. This is just my understanding with some quick research. I'll post an article here so you can kind of get an idea. I don't have any medical experience, so. And it's slightly ironic because although Colorado Springs is really sunny, and it's obviously sitting at a higher elevation, the air quality, the fresh air, is not where you would think, at least presently. So in terms of air quality, compared to the rest of the United States, Colorado Springs actually ranks number 44 out of 50 for the worst air quality. So crazy fact number 2, some of the biggest snowfall actually happens in the springtime. So Colorado Springs, and Colorado as a whole honestly, has some really weird weather patterns, and you'd think that winter obviously means more snow, which if you look at just like general accumulation, it does snow more in the winter, but the big bouts of snow always feel like they come at the end of the winter and the beginning of the spring. For example, we're filming this in late April, and just a couple weeks ago it snowed like over a foot. And this isn't like it's snowing and cold all the time too, it's like it's 60 and 70 degree weather and then randomly it'll snow a foot. So really strange weather in the springtime. Having grown up in Monument, so the northern part of Colorado Springs, I remember it snowing like as late as June. And looking it up just a couple of years ago in 2020, it snowed 2 inches in June in Colorado Springs. So crazy fact number 3, the most heavily armed man in the United States lives in Colorado Springs. So Mel Bernstein, aka the Dragon Man, lives in the eastern portion of Colorado Springs. He's a Vietnam vet who grew up in Brooklyn, and he has a giant shooting range that has like a paintball course and a motorbike track. And he also has one of the most complete military museums in the entire world. So fact number 4 is one of my favorites, owning 4 dogs myself, and that's going to be that Colorado Springs actually ranks as the #1 pet-friendly city in the country. So this ranking was published within a study done by Pet Lab Co., which is like a supplement company. And I don't know like what scientific data went into this, so I'm not sure in terms of the validity, but living in the area with 4 dogs, it does feel very pet-friendly. So a bunch of different restaurants, bars you can take your dogs to that are super dog-friendly. And there are like 7 or 8 different dog parks within the area. So tons of different things you can take your dog to, and honestly, owning dogs in the area does not feel like a burden whatsoever. One of my wife and I's favorite date ideas is actually going to Bear Creek Dog Park, getting some coffee and walking around. It's like 25 acres, there's a creek running through it, And given the size and like all the dogs, it's like a hiking and dog lover's paradise. And in terms of rentals that allow dogs, it's honestly pretty easy to find places. Like we personally have 4 dogs and it was a little bit harder, but it wasn't impossible. So if you're pet lovers like we are, Colorado Springs is going to cover all your bases. So the number 5 fact that I found that was one of the craziest is that one of the neighborhoods within Colorado Springs is actually built on old toxic waste. So there was a old gold refinery just west of Old Colorado City that operated like in the early 1900s that processed gold ore from Cripple Creek. So after this gold refinery shut down in like the late 40s, it kind of got abandoned. And in 1993, the EPA, so the Environmental Protection Agency, claimed this area as a Superfund site. And for anyone who's not aware of what a Superfund site is, it's basically the EPA claiming that this is an area that needs to be cleaned up because of toxic material. But then shortly after, in 2005, they began developing this area because the studies done showed that it wasn't that big of a deal. And in the study done, it showed like the chemicals were within the safe limits. However, the EPA still classified it as a Superfund site, which is kind of odd. And apparently you're not supposed to grow edible plants within the area. So although this area is technically safe, kind of doesn't give you the warm and fuzzy feelings. So that does it for the top 5 craziest facts about Colorado Springs. If you found this video interesting, give it a like and let us know in the comments if you think we should do a part 2. He was asking for uppies.
Puppies.